what if I told you that there is another form of Haki that we still don't know about? An ultimate form that the original Joy Boy used during the ancient war. And what if I told you that Joy Boy willingly sacrificed his life so that Luffy could one day inherit this ultimate Haki power and use it to finally defeat Imu? In this video, I will explore the truth about Joy Boy, true Haki, and the secret source of Luffy's power, so let's get into it. You guys know how this works. If you enjoy my One Piece content and you want to see more in the future, leave a quick like and comment right now for that YouTube algorithm. And it would mean a lot to me if you look down and see whether or not you're subscribed to this channel. And if you're not, subscribing and hitting that notification bell helps me out a lot, and it's completely free. Okay, so the Egghead Island arc has been absolutely incredible in terms of all the reveals it provided about the world of One Piece and all the many fan theories it confirmed. Among the biggest of these is the confirmation that the ancient kingdom was far more advanced than the modern world, and that their technology was hundreds of years ahead of even what the best scientists like Dr. Vegapunk are able to accomplish. We learned that the ancient kingdom possessed a source of unlimited power, something like a second sun that could be used to power all their advanced technology for free and forever. Vegapunk has been attempting to replicate this technology with his Mother Flame, but even though the Mother Flame is extremely powerful, it is still incomplete, and it is not equivalent to the true source of unlimited power that the ancient kingdom was able to harness. As it stands right now, the Mother Flame is kind of the equivalent to nuclear energy in our own world. It could theoretically be used for incredibly positive things, like powering all technology on Earth in an extremely efficient way and for the benefit of everyone, but it can also be used in extremely destructive ways as well, such as powering the mysterious ancient weapon that was used to destroy the kingdom of Lulusia. But come on guys, we know Oda. He isn't introducing such an important concept as a second sun and source of unlimited energy just so he could do some epic world building for fun. We know that a concept as important as this was introduced at this crucial moment in the story because it is going to play a major role in the main story itself. In fact, it could play a critical role in the final showdown between Imu and the world government and Luffy and the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. And our other major clue about what the final showdown is going to look like came in chapter 1122. I'm talking about the moment when the Iron Giant Emmet used an insane Haki-based attack that the original Joy Boy had prepared for him 800 years ago, during the Void Century. I'm honestly not sure if most people realize just how huge of a moment this was, and what kind of massive impact this reveal is going to have on the rest of the story. In that chapter, the Iron Giant saves the Straw Hats and their allies from complete annihilation by the Gorosei in their mythical beast forms, and he does it by releasing a knot of Haki that the original Joy Boy had left inside his giant body. Joy Boy himself called this a knot of the greatest Haki, and he told Emmet to release it when the time is right, all the way back during the Void Century. We see a flashback conversation between Emmet and Joy Boy, a conversation that took place during the Ancient War and which shows Joy Boy only in silhouette form. The silhouette does seem to be wearing a straw hat though, which is a huge deal because it seems to confirm that the straw hat, or at least a straw hat of some kind, has been passed down among pirates for 800 years, ever since the original Joy Boy. Oh, and by the way, the Egghead arc confirmed that Joy Boy was also the first pirate. Now, during this conversation with Emmet, Joy Boy tells the Iron Giant directly that he, Joy Boy, is going to die, but because Emmet is a robot who will get to live on far longer than Joy Boy, Emmet should be the one to keep this knot of the greatest Haki with him, so that he can use it to protect either himself or someone he wants to protect when the time is right. But okay then, what is Haki, and how can an overpowered knot of it be stored somewhere for 800 years and then released in a way that causes an unbelievable amount of damage? We can't forget that once this blast of Haki is released, it not only knocks out pretty much everyone present aside from the very strongest warriors, but it is so strong that it forces the 4 Gorosei who had been summoned to Egghead from Marijua to forcibly return to the capital against their will. And it also forces them to go back into their human forms. Perhaps craziest of all, this blast of Haki seemed to have a truly profound effect on Imu himself. Even though Imu had not even been on Egghead Island, after the Haki knot was released, Imu drops down to his knees and begins to breathe heavily while literally shaking. Let me remind you again that Imu is nowhere near Egghead at this time. He is practically half a world away inside his gardens in Marijua. So what kind of power is this? Yes, it's Haki of some sort, but does this type of colossal Haki blast that was stored up for hundreds of years really line up with our current understanding of Haki and its various types? There are of course 3 known types of Haki right now: Observation Haki, Armament Haki, and Conqueror's Haki, also known as Supreme King Haki. Observation Haki essentially allows for the development of a sixth sense that can sense the power, presence, and even the emotions of others. It also allows users to sense the intentions of their opponents and, in some cases, even predict their attacks before they happen. Those with particularly advanced Observation Haki can even see into the future for a short period of time. Armament Haki enables the user to basically use their aura as a shield or armor. This type of Haki allows the user to strengthen their body, or specific parts of their body, which can provide both a stronger defense and a stronger attack. That's because if, for example, you throw a punch after coating your arm in Armament Haki, that punch will be much stronger than a normal punch. But the power of Armament Haki doesn't stop there. It can actually be used to circumvent the defensive abilities of Devil Fruit, such as the inability to land a hit on a Logia user. So yeah, a skilled user of Armament Haki is able to hurt even a Logia user. On top of that, Armament Haki can be transferred into objects, such as weapons, which makes these weapons much stronger. Advanced users of Armament Haki can even project that power for short distances, allowing them to knock out opponents without even touching them, or potentially even destroying the opponent from the inside if the attack is strong enough. Rayleigh first demonstrated this advanced ability to Luffy during their training. Finally, we have Conqueror's Haki, also referred to as Supreme King Haki. This type of Haki is the rarest type, and it has been possessed by only a few individuals throughout history. Apparently, only 1 in several million people is born with the potential to use this power, and so it can't be learned just by anyone who is willing to put in hard work and training. There are only about 24 known users of this type of Haki in the entire history of One Piece. And that includes both living and dead characters, as well as canon and non-canon characters. This Haki type is essentially the most pure and overwhelming manifestation of the user's willpower. And it can only be used by those with the strongest will and determination, those who have the potential to be kings. A user of Conqueror's Haki can defeat their opponent without even touching them by completely overwhelming the opponent's willpower with their own. Opponents who have weak wills will immediately lose consciousness and pass out when exposed to Conqueror's Haki. And even stronger opponents will have a tough time dealing with an advanced Conqueror's Haki user. But it's important to stress that Conqueror's Haki is not just like a psychological form of power. This type of Haki can actually do physical damage to surrounding objects, and a fight between 2 strong Conqueror's Haki users is said to be able to split the heavens. The most advanced Conqueror's Haki users can infuse the Haki into their weapons and attacks, which makes them far stronger than normal. An advanced Conqueror's Haki user can even manipulate their aura in a way that can trick someone else's Observation Haki. But it's important to remember that these advanced feats can only be performed by a very small number of the absolutely strongest Conqueror's Haki users. So we're talking about an extremely small number of an already extremely small number of people who can actually use Conqueror's Haki in the first place. But why am I describing all the different types of Haki that have been introduced up to this point? Well, that's because there could be other forms of Haki that exist but that we are not yet aware of. The game-changing Haki knot that was weaved by Joy Boy and placed inside the Iron Giant only to be used 800 years later clearly shows that there are other overpowered ways to use Haki that we didn't even know about. And this hints at the possibility of other types of Haki existing, such as, for example, an ultimate form of Haki, one that potentially combines all 3 known forms into one. Or perhaps a completely different form of Haki altogether, which can create not just incredibly powerful stored up attacks, but also indestructible objects and weapons. Again, we have to remember that the original Joy Boy and all the people who lived during his era had far more advanced technology than the modern world. So, knowing that, it isn't hard to believe that they also had more advanced knowledge of Haki as well. In fact, I think that Joy Boy's unbelievable Haki knot attack could be directly related to that mysterious source of unlimited power that the Ancient Kingdom possessed, and to the true nature of the One Piece itself. We know that a virtually indestructible material exists in the world of One Piece, and that material was used to create the massive ancient cubes known as the poneglyphs. We also know that these poneglyphs were created by the allies of Joy Boy during the Void Century in order to preserve the truth of the world for future generations. Because these objects had to survive for hundreds of years into the future, and because the enemies of Joy Boy, such as the world government, surely wanted to do everything in their power to destroy the poneglyphs, these objects had to be virtually indestructible, or else they wouldn't have lasted very long. Emu and the world government have spared no expense in order to erase the truth about the Void Century from history. And trying to even study the poneglyphs and what happened during the Ancient War is an act punishable by death. An interesting theory has been floating around the fandom for a while regarding the poneglyphs and why they seem to be made from the only substance that is indestructible. I'm not the first person to talk about this, and I know that Manu from the Ohara channel and others have mentioned an interesting theory. This theory is that a special type of Haki could have been infused into the stone that makes up the poneglyphs, and that is what makes them indestructible. Now, you might be thinking, what kind of armament Haki or Conqueror's Haki or any Haki could be so powerful that it could make so many huge objects indestructible for hundreds of years? Surely no one is powerful enough to create such objects, and no Haki is strong enough to do that. Well, until the events of chapter 1122, it would have been hard to argue with that objection. But after witnessing Joy Boy's Haki knot attack, our understanding of Haki as a whole has changed. We now know for a fact that Haki can be weaved into a knot and preserved for 800 years, only to be unleashed with such force that it wrecks the Gorosei in their beast forms in a single blow. Was this just really advanced Conqueror's Haki that Joy Boy was able to produce and then somehow store for 8 centuries until it was right for it to be released? Or was this some kind of strange combination of multiple types of Haki, perhaps all 3 together? Or alternatively, was this Haki knot a hint that there is still another form of Haki that we don't even know about yet? An ultimate 4th form that can't be bound even by time itself, and which can not only launch deadly attacks hundreds of years into the future, but also preserve giant indestructible objects like the poneglyphs for 8+ centuries. Now, the idea of some sort of force or energy being stored in knots is not actually new to One Piece. Way back in chapter 523, we learned about the wind knots of Weatheria. Weatheria is an artificial sky island whose inhabitants are known for their desire to discover ancient secrets and ancient technology. And they possess wind knots, which when untied can unleash gusts of wind. These gusts can range from a gentle breeze to gale force winds. So the fact that the ancient kingdom knew how to store energy inside knots has been foreshadowed for a very long time. And even in the famous song Binks Sake, we have a reference to Weaver's Town, which seems to be the place from which the crew that sings the song is departing from. This Weaver's Town may actually be the capital of the ancient kingdom, and the thing that they are weaving in the first place could be the overpowered Haki knots like the one that Joy Boy left inside Emmet. Joy Boy really seems to have known that he was about to die, and he made multiple important preparations before that happened. He wrote that apology to the people of Fishman Island. He prepared that knot for Emmet and told him to use it after he was dead. He took great care to ensure that the poneglyphs would preserve the truth of the world for the future. He left the One Piece on a mysterious island, and so on. Most of us assume that Joy Boy knew that he was going to lose the war, and that he eventually fell in battle at some point after making these preparations, but there could be something else going on here. What if Joy Boy knew he was gonna die because he willingly sacrificed his life in order to ensure that his successor Luffy would inherit his power in order to one day bring down the world government? What if Joy Boy used his advanced Haki abilities to infuse his Haki into his own devil fruit upon his death? Similarly how it was infused into the knot within Emmet, and potentially within the poneglyphs as well. What if being infused with Joy Boy's Haki is the very thing that gave the Nika fruit such a strong will of its own? A will strong enough to allow it to elude capture by the world government for 800 years despite being just an inanimate object. What if this is the real reason why so many people like Zunesha and Emmet believe that Joy Boy has literally returned when they see Luffy in his Gear 5 form? And what if this is the reason why Luffy's heartbeat in Gear 5 sounds exactly like the heartbeat of the original Joy Boy? The drums of liberation. Maybe Joy Boy willingly sacrificed his life to ensure that all of this would come to pass. He willingly died and wove his very life force into the Nika fruit, knowing that it would one day be reborn and consumed by his successor. When Luffy ate the Nika fruit, he not only gained the abilities that come with it, but he also consumed the original Joy Boy's essence and his own ultimate Haki, which Joy Boy had infused within the devil fruit at the expense of his own life. If Joy Boy infused his very life essence into the Nika fruit, It would explain why the heartbeats of Luffy and Joy Boy are the same. This might also be the reason why Luffy ended up with an X-shaped scar across his chest, right where his heart is. Oda is trying to tell us that X marks the spot, and Luffy's heart is the key to everything. His heart could be infused with Joy Boy's ultimate Haki, and with that Haki, it could have the potential to become the second son of the Ancient Kingdom, a source of unlimited power capable of leading humanity into a war of liberation against the world government. Again, this theory about Luffy's heart being special and perhaps even evolving into the source of unlimited power that Vegapunk was trying to discover is not new, and I have heard other fans talk about it, including, I believe, Arthur from the Library of Ohara, if I remember correctly. But all of these theories about new Haki powers and the source of unlimited power are starting to make a lot more sense after the reveal of Joy Boy's game-changing Haki knot. And if objects like the poneglyphs were infused with Haki in order to render them indestructible, then we have to wonder if maybe the One Piece itself was made using some ultimate form of Haki. Roger might have been too early because without Joy Boy's ultimate Haki, which can only be unlocked by an awakened Nika user who is his successor, Roger simply couldn't activate or unlock what the One Piece really was. Joy Boy's ultimate Haki may be the only thing capable of unlocking the secrets of the One Piece, and Luffy may be the only person with the potential to awaken and harness Joy Boy's ultimate Haki power. What do you guys think? Are there other types of Haki that are still unknown to us, and were ancient warriors like Joy Boy capable of using them? Is Luffy going to inherit the ability to use new ultimate Haki powers through the Nika Devil Fruit? I mean, a lot of us believe that at the end of the story, Luffy will find a way to destroy the Red Line and create the Old Blue. But realistically, how do you destroy a massive freaking continent? Maybe the only way to do it is to awaken a new form of Haki, the ultimate Haki power passed on from Joy Boy to Luffy over the course of 800 years. Could Luffy's very heart, the source of the Drums of Liberation, turn out to be something special, like the hidden source of Joy Boy's ultimate Haki, which he had infused into his Devil Fruit before his death? Or maybe Luffy's heart could even turn out to be the second son of Sun God Nika, the ancient source of unlimited power passed on by Joy Boy to the new generation through the Nika Devil Fruit itself. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Is Joy Boy's Haki knot a game changer, and how will this massive reveal affect the rest of the story? Will Luffy learn to use Joy Boy's ultimate Haki, perhaps leading to the emergence of a new gear altogether? Now that would be a massive twist, and I'm personally very excited about where this story is going. Egghead has given us so many incredible reveals, and it's only going to get more intense from here. I can't wait to see what's going to happen next in the epic story of One Piece. And speaking of epic One Piece, if you're looking for another amazing video to watch right now, check out this video where I explored a theory that Oda already low-key revealed who Luffy's mother actually is. Link on screen and in the description. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more One Piece here on the channel, leave a quick like to let me know. And if you don't want to miss future videos, do me a huge favor and subscribe right now, and also hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications.